light travelers, we're on our way to some adventures flying down the highway. Today is Sunday, April the 14th, and we're on our way to some locations that we're going to check out. So sit back and enjoy the ride. Good old-fashioned ham and cheese. All right, that was a good lunch, but break time's over. Back to the interstate. Whoa! Look at those rock cuts, baby. Oh, this is so cool. They always say when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So I guess when in Oklahoma, do as the Oklahomies, I guess? I don't know. Let's get in there. If you're in Oklahoma, you kind of got to, right? Well, that was a success, but we've got some more driving to do, so let's get to it. Well, we've done a lot of driving today, so it's about time we call it a night. See you guys in the morning. Good morning from the Stealth Mobile. We're currently out of Love's in Dodge City, Kansas. Just woke up. We're gonna get this thing switched over from sleep mode to drive mode real quick, and then check out some cool stuff here in the Cowboy capital of the world. Dodge City, here we come, baby. All right, car successfully switched back over into drive mode. Didn't film that because there's not a lot of space in the car, and I got a lot of stuff in here. As you can see, we are packed to the gills, and there's the Enterprise right there. But anyway, I'm gonna go in here. We're gonna get some breakfast rolling, and then I'm gonna clean this windshield because this is this is insect ground zero right here from yesterday's drive. So, but then we're gonna go see what Dodge City's got to offer. So saddle up, y'all. You can see many a bug shed their lifeblood on my blade last night. We're gonna get that fixed real quick. Let me know down in the comments if you get that reference, because if you do, that's a good song. I always think it's a good rule of thumb to try and buy a little something from these places before you leave if you sleep the night at them. It's just a courtesy thing, I guess, but you do you. There was still a little bit of ice in that cup from yesterday. Them Ozark Trail cups from Wally World, they don't quit. It was 90-something degrees yesterday, and I was driving down the road with the windows down, so you know, it was ambient temperature, so yeah, them things are pretty good. Go get you one if you don't have one yet. Let's see what's on the breakfast menu for today. And by menu, I mean first thing that I pull out of this little bag right here that's breakfast related. Pop-Tart? Apple juice? Sounds good to me. I actually don't know what flavor this Pop-Tart is. It could either be Apple Jacks or strawberry. Either way, it's gonna be good. Let's find out. It's for you ASMR lovers out there. Moment of truth. Apple Jacks. Success. All right, breakfast is done. Let's pull over to the pumps and top off and take care of this windshield. That's a heck of a lot better. That looks so much better. All right, Dodge City, let's see what you got. So Dodge City is known as the cowboy capital of the world, and it's pretty significant in American history and American lore. So Dodge City was founded in the mid-19th century. It was first a fort on the Santa Fe Trail. This is a very strategic point on the original Santa Fe Trail, which runs from Missouri to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And this is where the Santa Fe Trail crossed the Arkansas River. And the people that settled here, they often quarreled with the natives of the area, and the forts were destroyed and abandoned for a time. But then people started to come back here when the railroad started to get built through here. There was a railroad that followed the old Santa Fe Trail. I forget what the name of the railroad. I would assume it might be the Santa Fe Railroad, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, they built a railroad through here, and this became a strategic place to bring cattle on cattle drives. At first, they brought the cattle to the eastern parts of Kansas, but the cattle had this, it was a tick from the Texas area, and it carried a disease, and they didn't want it to infect the other cattle, so there was a quarantine line. So Dodge City became basically the cowboy capital of the world, because this is the only place in Kansas where they could bring the cattle to put on the railroad so it could be taken back east. So there were other places, but Dodge City was the most well established. It was a center of commerce for the area. And also with the cattle and the cowboys came the gambling and the saloons and some very notorious gunfights. Andrew Carnegie has been here. Corner of a Second and Gunsmoke. Yeah, I think I'm in the right place. On my way to the Boot Hill Museum, but I've spotted something I must see. I'm a sucker for a good train. Let's go have a look. I've always liked trains since I was a youngin'. They just had a feel to me, I guess. And now I get to be in one. I think this is the coolest thing I have seen here so far. This is awesome. Those of you that may not know, this is a steam locomotive, and so how these work is you've got a big coal car back here, and it has a load of coal in it, and then you'll have someone that probably sits right here in this chair or somewhere close by that shovels coal from the coal car into the furnace down there. And so this is going to make the engine go forward because it generates steam in that furnace. And that's why you see the old trains, they have the big funnels on the top or the big chimneys on the top, and the steam and the smoke comes out. So that's how these trains work. I was reading the little information placard over there, and it said that this train, this whole locomotive, was built for $19,500. That's crazy. That's about how much my car costs. I'm into the jail here in the Boot Hill Museum, and I tell you what, I would not want to be. I would not want to be in that position. I would not want to be in jail in Dodge City in the 1800s. That would not be a whole lot of fun. Funny story, the museum actually stole the jail. They were told they couldn't have it, and they tried to buy it from the city, and the city said no, so they saddled up on horseback at midnight and stole the jail. That's very Dodge City-like. Boot Hill Museum, definitely a winner. Check it out if you're ever in Dodge City. Alrighty, y'all. Well, that was pretty fun. I didn't take a whole lot of videos in there just because there was a few people in there and I wanted to be respectful, but I did take some pictures, so those will probably be coming up now. Yeah, if you're ever in Dodge City, Boot Hill Museum is a good place to visit. It's real neat. But anyway, I'm about to go find a place to sit down and have some lunch, so I'm go find a lucky picnic table. You know what's better than a breakfast of champions? A lunch of legends. Let's grub. I was just finishing up my lunch and heading back to the car when I saw someone over here that I'd like to have a chat with. Deal me in, Doc. I'm starting to think I should have sat at the other chair, because look at this other hand that guy has. Oh well, just beats more when we win it. Well, you beat me soundly, sir. It's a pleasure to play with you, Doc Holliday, but I gotta get going. We have just arrived at our next point of entry here in Dodge City, which is Salsa Man. Salsa Man right here is actually a refurbished muffler man, which was a popular advertising fad during the 1970s. He was originally holding a burger and a soda, and they took the burger, sorry, the wind's blowing, they took the top of the burger and made it into his hat, and the bottom and made it into the tray he's holding. So there we have Salsa Man. Actually, Dennis Hopper wanted him to be here, so that's pretty cool. All right, now that we've hung out with Salsa Man for a little while, we're gonna go hit our next spot. There's just so much cool stuff to see in Dodge City, and there's countless towns around the country and probably around the world that are like this, that are just a little bit nondescript, that may not have the same claim to fame like Dodge City does, but it's definitely a cool place to visit, and there's definitely countless cool places to visit all around. So it's not like on the same level as, you know, places like Sedona or the Grand Canyon or Carlsbad, but it's definitely worth seeing for different reasons. So just give it a shot next time you see it. And if you're ever driven through Dodge City, don't be deterred by the fact that it smells like cow manure. There's all kinds of cool stuff to see. And yes, that pun was most definitely intended. Let's go see this thing. This is the home of Stone. The home of Stone was built in 1881 and is the oldest building in Dodge City that's still standing on its original foundation. A lot of this that could be contributed to the fires that plagued the city throughout its early days. This home was built to be the nicest home in Dodge City at the time, and it's definitely stood the test of time. Well, that was an interesting find. The Home of Stone is a museum. It was closed today, but I'm sure it's open other days during the week, and I'm sure it's probably great to check out too. So, as I mentioned when I was talking about it, there were many fires that plagued Dodge City in its early days, and as a result, most of the buildings afterwards and the streets were paved and made out of brick. So if you're ever in Dodge City, you're going to see these unique brick streets that line the entire town, all except for Wyatt Earp Boulevard. That's going to be concrete, but everything else, except for the parking lots too, but everything else, the streets are brick, which is very, very unique and very, very interesting to me. So, but that's going to conclude our sightseeing today here in Dodge City. We're going to move on to some other things, and we've got a couple odds and ends to tie up before we leave town, so we're going to go take care of those real quick. So let's go do that. All right, let's get the hell out of Dodge.
Music keeps me dancing.
There's one more thing we're gonna see before we leave this area, but it's really windy, so we're gonna go to voiceover mode. So this is the site where the old Santa Fe Trail passed. It was a short walk from the parking area. There are a couple information placards that I'll show here in just a second, but yeah, this was a pretty neat place to check out if it's not super windy. Onward! How about a little bit of a road montage?
Music keeps me dancing. Music keeps me dancing.
Colorado! We are officially not in Kansas anymore. Now we are back again at the best hotel in the universe. Loves. Well, we're just settling down here for the night in the Stealthmobile here at the Loves. It's been a fun couple days traveling with y'all. Here's to a couple more, so just stay tuned. This is going to conclude today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and travel light, everybody. Have a good night.